Hey, Joe, can you hand me that wrench? Joe? I'm Mike.
I'm Joe.
And this is Cart Life TV. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Cart Life TV. And I know what you're thinking. You're wondering where Joe is, right? He's sick, unfortunately, and we still have a couple things to do before we get into the really fun stuff with this golf cart. So I'm going to work on that today, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now. All right, today we're going to be talking about some of the electrical components on this Club Car Tempo. This is way more advanced than our Club Car DS, the one that we used for our long distance trips in season 1. This one here actually comes with a pre-installed harness for factory lighting. They sold these club cars in all different ways, kind of like options at a car dealership. This was a golf course version, so a lot of that stuff wasn't added, but the harness was still there for it. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you some of the other things that we're going to get rid of also to make room for a new lighting harness that we're going to install in another episode later on. All right, taking this dashboard off is very, very simple. There's 2 bolts here and over here, and there is a quick connect, like a body panel. Looks like a screw, but it's not. It actually pulls up, and it's more of a rivet than a screw. I'm going to be replacing this with a stainless steel screw and when we put it back together after we're done removing the factory lighting harness. Removing the steering wheel is also easy. There's I think it's a 15mm bolt. You pull that out, and then the steering wheel slides off the steering shaft. You may have to hit it with a hammer to loosen it or break it free, but it will come off if you pull back on it while you're tapping on the center. Once that's done, you can slide the dashboard out from the steering column, and it will expose all of the wiring harnesses. This would be a lot easier if Joe was here. All right, once the steering wheel is off, slide this up, and there will be one harness here that you have to disconnect, and the dash slides right off in one piece. So there's a few different components on the back side of this dashboard here, and I'm just going to go over them with you real quick because I did spend some time looking at the entire wiring schematic of the gas Club Car Tempo. Back here, kind of hidden behind this harness, is the buzzer circuit and the actual buzzer hardware. This is the harness that plugs in for all of the components back here. Over here, this little set of 3 wires with the orange wire is the electrical hookups for a fuel gauge. The orange wire comes from the fuel sender all the way over there on the fuel tank. This is your key switch, power on for the golf cart. Over here, we have the onboard USB charging, which is a nice feature to have. I think we'll repurpose that to the new dashboard. And over here is the oil light that runs off these 2 yellow wires that you could circle all the way back through the harness. Now, this buzzer doesn't work. We know that we get no sound through that buzzer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove that now, bring it over to the bench and see if it's a hardware issue with the buzzer or something somewhere else, maybe in one of the switches that would turn it on. This is a mechanical circuit, which means that a switch has to be thrown and contact has to be made for that to work. It does not run off the computer. So let's pull that out, bring it over to the bench, and see what we got. All right, we got the reverse buzzer out of the golf cart. Easy, 2 screws held it on, 2 electrical terminals right there. I got a 12 volt AC adapter on my workbench over there. I'm just gonna hook it up to the contacts and see if this thing makes any noise. And if it does, it's not the buzzer, it's something else. And we gotta figure that out before we put this back together. If it is the buzzer, we're just gonna replace it with one that I already have on order. All right, so this is my 12 volt AC adapter, and it's pretty cool because I have I attach leads to it that have alligator clips on the end, which makes it really, really easy to test something and hook something up. It's my computer behind me. I actually have the diagram, the wiring diagram of the dashboard of the club car Tempo up there for easy reference. But I'm just gonna plug this in real quick to my power, and we're gonna hook up the negative here. It says it on the back, positive here, and right there. So the problem is not the buzzer, it's somewhere else, and we gotta figure that out. I know I keep saying it, but this would be a lot easier if Joe was here. So this is our dual harness that runs up to where the dashboard was up here. There's a few things in here that you'll notice if you do open one of these up. One is your main harness right here. This is the one that plugs in to the harness that's already in the dashboard that has the wire for the fuel sender. And that's easy to identify because it's orange. And you can actually follow that all the way back to the fuel sender and the fuel tank back there. The other harness is the pre-wired one for the lighting, and I already went through it, and I know that yellow, white with the black stripe, brown and black go to the rear of the golf cart for the tail lights. The blue and white and blue wire is a circuit loop that goes to the fuse for the lighting that's in the little fuse box down by the battery. So we'll be able to remove that as well. And then there is another black wire, which is in these golf carts always ground, and a red wire, which I'm assuming is power that when you plug in the other half of this harness, which is the front end lighting that's only included if you purchase this golf car with the lighting option. You would have like a switch that came off of it that would control the front lights, the headlights, and the rear lights with the brake lights. Over here on the floor, we have a circuit for a stock brake light switch. That's gonna come out also because we're gonna be putting in the one that comes with our new lighting kit. And then over here, this is the harness for a connected golf car. So if you're on a golf course and it has the GPS in it, or some kind of device like that, this is the wire for that. So we're gonna remove that as well because we don't need it. We're gonna start by clipping the zip tie here that holds this harness to the front of the golf cart. There's a tree in there that is a good mounting spot for a zip tie. So we're gonna leave that in place and try not to damage it. So when we do run our new harnesses, we can just zip a zip tie onto that mounting location. Then we're gonna unwrap this electrical tape all the way back to here where the harness meets up and it splits off to both sides of the back of the golf cart and into the tub. And then we're gonna keep chasing wires and see how much of this harness we can take off. All right, so this is where we got so far. We got the harness separated. This is the main harness that goes to the instrument panel with the blue wire that goes back to the solenoid, the sending wire for the fuel, the yellow wire for the oil light, and common ground. I cut the common ground that runs to the light switch. They were smart. They only ran one ground, and when it got up to the front there, it split to the three other harnesses up there. So I cut that one to isolate the lighting harness. I got it back here to where it splits off. So I'm gonna undo this now and probably remove the wiring for the tail lights first because they're the most obvious. whoever wrapped these harnesses must have been like a fisherman, because they made like fisherman knots with this electrical tape. Pretty insane. A little bit more to go over here, and we'll get this knot out, and probably have a better idea of where things are running. So far, what I got unwrapped is the passenger side tail lights. I isolated the lighting harness from the instrument panel harness, and I got this one section here that goes to where the split is for the brake and the pedal harness. This right here goes to the driver's side rear of the car. This is for the brake lights and tail lights on the driver's side. So we know that's obvious also, so that's coming out for sure. Definitely weird without Joe here. A little bit more electric tape to do, and this is one thing I haven't figured out yet. This is a brown and a red and white wire that goes to a plug that has, I don't know, something plugged into it as far as a jumper goes. So we're gonna have to do a little bit more research about that also. But now I'm gonna undo this electrical tape here to free up the wire for the brake, the OEM, or what would be normally the OEM brake light. There it is. This is the hookup for the OEM brake light. You can see, easy to identify because it's a brown and red wire that runs down by the brake pedal. And it's already set up with quick connects, so that if you did have that switch and it failed, it would be easy to replace by yourself or a technician. So we're gonna pull this out also, and bring this all the way back. Gotta get organized. Okay, so this is it. And I think we figured something else out here. So this brown and red wire goes to this device here that was down by the brake pedal. This is part of the connected car system, and we figured it out. So we could remove this also. I was wondering what this was. It did not show up on the diagram of the light harnesses. The two blue wires, blue and white, and we know what these are. This is for the fuse that is in the fuse box down here. I'm actually just gonna cut these because this is cool, because this will give us a fuse circuit on wire if we ever need it for anything random. So I'm just gonna clip it now, and this will completely isolate all these wires from the golf cart. The last thing that we're going to take out now is the connected car system. It is the brown wire and a red wire that runs to the back of the golf cart here. We're gonna get that out. We're gonna chase it back. So there's a brown wire that runs directly to it. There's a common black that runs to here. We're gonna cut that out. Make sure we get the right one. Probably put it here. All right, guys, and that's it. We have cleaned up pretty much all the wiring in the golf cart. We got a little bit of untangling to do, and we have to recreate this harness. I'm gonna get that done and then kind of just get it back into place, but I'm not gonna wire loom anything until we run our main harness for our lighting when Joe gets back, because we still have to pick out which lighting kit we're going to use for this golf cart. All right, so I've been organizing this and trying to figure out how I'm going to put this harness back together just to kind of keep it neat. I think a cool idea would be, I got these, see, this is like the common negatives that they run up here, and this switches, there's a like a switch here, not a switch, but a splice, I should say, that goes to 3 different black wires, and these are 3 separate grounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put female terminals on the ends of these in case we need any additional grounds underneath the dashboard for the future. Pretty cool option for that. And then this, I think, is a red power wire, constant on. So I'm gonna put a terminal on the end of this also in case we need any power up here that is switched on with the golf cart. Also pretty cool. So there are some benefits additionally with redoing these harnesses. This red and white wire here, where the splice is, this went to the connected car system, and I traced it back, and this is actually the power wire, the switched power wire for the reverse buzzer. So now we know where to follow this wire back to see if we could figure out why that buzzer wasn't working. So the last thing we're gonna do before we put like some tape around this, just to kind of keep it neat until we're ready to run the rest of our wiring harness for our lighting, is this white and red wire for the buzzer. This is kind of like an action wire, I like to call them. This will activate when you put the reverse switch on. So I'm gonna put a splice, like a butt connector on this, in case we think of anything cool to hook up when we put it in reverse, like maybe like a strobe light or reverse lights, which I don't think have been done on a golf cart before, which might be pretty cool. So I'm gonna do that now, then we're gonna get this wrapped up, and I'm just gonna chase a couple of other wires after that and see what else we could figure out with the old harness on this golf cart. All right, guys, so now that I got this all cleaned up, and I think we're at a good point here to test everything. I plugged the harness back in, and when you turn the key into the on position, boom, the oil light comes on, and you can hear the fuel pump priming, which is great, which means we have power and everything works. One thing that I wanted to make sure I checked out while we were at this point in the project, when all the wires were exposed. I know we tested the reverse buzzer already, and we know that that device actually works. So the issue is going to be somewhere else, and you know, I know that it's a mechanical switch here. So I went over here and I traced the red and white wire back to the little switch. It's a they call them a micro switch, and they slide on here underneath the forward and reverse handle. And when I touch that and actually activate it, boom, we found the problem. The problem is in the switch here, and I think the problem is someone changed it at one point, and then when they put the linkage, and you could see it moving down here when I hit it, it's not activating the switch, and there's our problem. If you like these videos, make sure you subscribe to Kart Life TV. Hit the subscribe button down there. If you want to support us, check out lowspeedliving.com. We got a great website on there with all kinds of really cool hats and shirts and golf cart accessories. And that's it. We'll see you next time, guys.